will look considerably better than last time. I also shaved my beard, so I didn't scrub the mic. I kept rubbing the microphone.
I actually went to the barber's the other day, and he refused to let me shave my beard anymore.
Oh.
He told me that it looked a mess, and from now on, he's the only person who's allowed to cut my beard. So I'm not allowed to cut it. I can cut the bottom, but everything else I have to leave until I go and see him.
It feels like an insult.
It did. It did. I think it was an insult. He was quite forthright about it.
One look at your face and go, "No, that's shit. I'll do that."
Basically, yeah. There was a lot of, who did this? This thing, what? What were you going for? Was this intentional? Did you pay for that? There was lots of questions like that.
At least you didn't pay for it. That'd be worse.
Yeah.
I think it's good. It's all right.
Well, it's growing now.
Yeah. I did mine earlier on today. Should we start?
Yes.
Let's start. Cue the music. We've got actual music now, though.
We have.
That's good, wasn't it? It was good. Pretty cool music.
It was good.
It was.
I like the keyboard.
Yeah. Problem is, I'm fairly certain I didn't save it or favourite the audio track, so I might have spent a bit of time.
Only somebody in music who could possibly compose something similar.
Well, it's not even that. It's I have it in there. It's non-copyrighted and everything, and it worked really well. So I thought that'll do. I'll save that, and it didn't. So I might. It's a non-copyright sound library. So that's going to be hours looking through it. Just hours of probably just letting them roll one after the other and going, not that one.
Just take it off the previous one.
Yeah, same sort of intro. Right,
Hey, all right. Yeah. You?
Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to list all the platforms that we're on and be like,
okay, that would be nice.
Generation Gap, now available on. I'll do it for now. And I didn't know this is how podcasts work. So I assumed you'd upload. So a bit like YouTube, you just upload a video. So actually the YouTube is you just upload the video. But I assumed you'd upload the video and then you go to Amazon and you upload it to Amazon and then you go to Spotify and you upload to Spotify. No, you go to a podcast, I want to say like hub or something, upload it to there, and then from there they go, right, where would you like this to go then? Yeah, let's just send this out. So I upload the podcast twice, one as a video and one as audio, and it just goes pew.
Or you could say that you spent hours doing all of that technical work because I would know no difference and be like, that's amazing, well done.
Yeah, so that's what I thought when everybody was like, oh, we're on this platform, and this platform. I'm like, wow, that's very in depth and quite impressive actually. The only platforms that we're not on right now are Spotify and Apple Music.
I take it there's charge or
No
something.
charges. Yeah. So as soon as we make any money, I'll put us on that. To be fair, the Apple one is like £15 a year, so I'll do that. I haven't done that yet. But yeah, I need to upgrade my subscription from the hub provider for the Spotify. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I didn't check how much it was. It could have been £1.
Oh. You want card details?
Principle of the thing. Yeah. This is a self-sustaining podcast. Until I've made money, I'm not spending money. You're gonna be joking. So yeah, that's how that works. That was quite cool. Have you done your homework?
Yes, I have.
Oh my god, did you really?
Yes, I did.
How far did you do Acolyte up to episode
4?
I've done episode 5.
Episode 5 I was going to watch today and didn't get a chance.
I think episode 5 must have come out around the time I was watching episode 4 because it said, do you want... So it was 1, 2, 3, 4. I was like, oh, that's not too many. And then when I got to the end of 4, it started playing 5. I was like, oh, cool.
From what you were saying, I wasn't expecting good things. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've got some issues with it, but I also wasn't expecting to enjoy it, and I did. I thought it was it's not my favourite show, but I think
because you set the bar like so down here,
very low bar. Yeah.
I was like, oh,
I'd say it's probably better than some of the films. I mean, if the lights... Oh, I'm trying to remember what lightsaber battles were in episode 5. Lightsaber battles are pretty good.
So where I've just finished on episode 4, spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Is where they found the Jedi who is a
Sith?
No. Well, yes. But the other one's just died. They've got to where he's hiding out in the woods.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what race he is.
A
He
Wookiee.
is a Wookiee. That's
Right.
it. The Jedi Wookiee.
Jedi
Or the
Wookiee.
Wookiee Jedi.
Right.
The Jedi Wookiee.
Oh, okay.
So
okay,
they found
okay.
him, and just as they turn around...
So, do you know who Red Lightsaber Man is?
No, I do not.
I can't really talk about one of my plot. I might just spoil it for you. Okay, so I knew who that was going to be before they unveiled it, based on nothing other than the fact I watched the first 4 episodes and worked it out from there.
Okay.
So who do you think it is? If you had to guess, who would you say it is? Obviously, I was hoping it'd be just a new character, but like, oh, that's cool, or someone like Palpatine when he was a kid, or something cool like that.
The silent Jedi?
The what?
The silent one?
No, he's
the one
dead.
who was meditating? I didn't know because he took a poison. Was it
Oh,
a
yeah,
poison?
no,
Was it a
it
sleeping
was,
dragon?
yeah. He definitely did.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
idea.
Okay, so I worked out by product of elimination. I thought it was either going to be
Process of elimination.
process of elimination. I was like, right, it's got to be a dude because
Yeah.
it sounds like a dude unless it's a very good voice changer. I was like, okay, it's got to be a dude. I'm thinking it's none of the Jedi. 'Cause I'm thinking the Jedi could be like Soul's clearly Soul. I'm thinking all the people who haven't been around when he was around, when she was around. I'm thinking, oh, it could be them. It can't be them. Can't be them. Can't be them. I basically narrowed it down to, but what if it's the guy, her friend, the one who was in the shop? And it's him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a bit disappointing.
Yeah, and I sort of I was like, zoom. I was like, you know how normally you want to go, no, I just sort of went, yep. Cool.
I thought it might be him when he was a bit kind of antsy about what does he have over you. Yeah,
Well, that's also
kind of
the
nothing.
thing. When he said about, he's like, oh, because in the shops they were talking about, oh, he'll make sure you're doing it for him. You wouldn't want to cross him. And he seems to know so much about this guy, and he's the only person who knows anything about this guy.
Mm.
And it's like, oh, it's him. It's like, well, yeah, kind of makes
How
sense.
are you going to do it without a weapon?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you seem to know a lot about this guy, and yeah, that was a bit lame.
Fair enough.
The other lame thing was, and I don't know why they did. Oh, there's 2 lame things about her and her sister.
Mm.
First one is they're twins, and they're identical twins when they're older, and they use the same actress, which is clever because they're identical twins. So just do that. So why are the kids different? Why don't you just use twins as kids or the same kid
I guess
actress?
it's hard to do dialogue as a child to blank space.
You say that, but Harry Potter, they had young people and they were like pretending to be Harry and Ron in the Chamber of Secrets. They had to like blank voice and act like they were other characters, and they did a really good job.
Yeah.
I just think that's a weird thing to do, to be identical as adults and use the same actress, and then use
they were
2
close.
different looking kids.
They were close.
I was like, wow, that's weird. Well, just use twins.
Or just use twins.
Just use twins. It's got to be, there's got to be young black twin actresses out there who would relish the opportunity to play this character, because that's cool. And I just thought, that's a really unusual thing to do. So that kind of bugged me. Oh, there's a very small thing that bugs me, and that's that they keep saying, we'll go to Coruscant. We're going to Coruscant. Well, I'm going to take you to Coruscant. Let's go to Coruscant. So where should we go? We're going to Coruscant. Let's go to Coruscant. Then they show Coruscant, and then they write Coruscant. I'm like, yeah. And they did it with
Just in case.
Karlak as well. They're like, right, take your team to Karlak. Well, I'm going to go to Karlak now. She's landed on Karlak. It's crashed on Karlak. Do you want to go to Karlak? Okay, I'll take us to Karlak. And it just goes Karlak. I'm like, yes, obviously. It's like, stop spoon feeding us information. It bugged me because, as a Star Wars fan, the first thing I did when Coruscant popped up, I went, oh, it's Coruscant. And then it went, Coruscant. I'm like, obviously. Like, who's watching this for the first time? Have you not watched a single Star Wars thing again?
Lightsaber.
Now. I've not really got any interest in the Star Wars franchise. Acolyte looks good.
It's weird. It's also in space.
What? It's so weird. And what was the other thing? Oh, yeah. And this bugged me because up until at the end of episode 2, you do not see the 2 sisters together. And they actively make a point of not having them in the same room at the same time. And I was like, oh, that's clever.
Were you thinking alter ego?
She's dead. It's like bipolar. It is her, but she's living her through.
Yeah.
I thought all of that. I thought that's a really cool twist. That's genius. Because it's like, oh, because they even set it up. Oh, sounds like a motorbike. So they even set it up. Like in the first episode, she goes, oh, where were you last night? He goes, oh, I don't need to tell you my business.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, boom, you've set it up. And then when
I did think that at the first episode when she was on the ship, and you're like, oh, what were you doing yesterday? Nothing.
And it makes me think they're using different child actresses, so they look a bit different. maybe they're using the same actress because it's the same person.
Mm-hmm.
No,
because one didn't make it off the planet. Blah, blah,
yeah.
blah.
I was like, unless they do that in episode 6, and it's like, but I don't see how they could do that because they've seen them both at the same.
Yeah, because one's
time.
inside the ship, the fortress type thing at the minute with the Wookiee
episode,
looking out.
The next episode, they're actually physically fighting each other, so it's a bit awkward.
Kind of ruined it.
Tough. Yeah, they're actually. Yeah.
Otherwise, everybody looking, going, "What are they doing?"
So I was trying to, in my head, I'm thinking, right, I don't think this can work, but if it does, that's genius. And it didn't. No, they sort of fudged that a little bit. I was like, oh, that's a real shame. But those are the only things. Other than that, I think the lightsaber battles are absolutely wicked.
Overall, I'd give it a good 6 to 7, 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say that's about that. I mean, it could get better. It could get a lot worse. The only other thing that also I found a little bit unusual is that the Acolyte posters have very much gone heavy on the woman from the Matrix, whose name I don't know.
You just have to say Trinity.
Yeah, Trinity. Yeah. The Trinity's on all the posters. I'm like, oh, cool. So I sort of started watching it thinking, I love her. This is going to be cool.
It was pretty epic.
And it was a brilliant fight scene.
Yeah.
And dead. I'm like,
yeah.
And I kept choosing flashbacks, but it's like,
I feel like they went, and budget.
Yeah. She must have, she's got to be the highest paid actress on the entire show. I can't think of anybody else who's on there who's as big a name as her.
The one who's the trainer.
Soul.
He's actually.
Is he famous?
He's got a lot of films under his belt. Let's put it that way. Really, a lot of films. As the lead.
Trinity.
As the lead.
Which leads me to believe she was a lot of money, which is why they said, right, we're going to use you for 15 minutes.
The other guy.
What's your hourly rate?
Who trained with her as a child.
The other guy. Oh, the
one who keeps like trying to point himself forward, and the other one's like, duh.
Yeah.
He's done a few things. Chicago Fire, I think, is his.
Oh yeah, not seen that.
You've not seen Chicago Fire?
No, I think you have.
Very good series. Very good series.
Yeah.
All the Chicago's a good series.
I saw something online where it's like, oh, Jedi, you know, when they sort of walk in on him and he's getting ready. And he's sort of like, oh, the Jedi, that's not what the Jedi are like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, they've got to get dressed. Jesus. Like he's steaming his robes. I'm like, yeah, have you seen how immaculate their robes are all the time? Do you think that's by chance?
Force.
Yeah, they're just force iron. Give him a break. Give him, jeez, yeah. I thought that was a bit mean because he walks in. It's like, that's cool. I think there's the right level of comedy, like not even comedy, like a little bit of like lightheartedness to this is actually a serious show. I think they've hit it pretty much on the head. I find this more interesting than like the Boba Fett series. I found that to get a little bit long.
I wasn't a big fan of the Boba Fett series.
I love the Mandalorian, so I thought I'd love the Boba Fett series.
It just jumped around too much.
Yeah.
It was here, there, present, future, past, past.
Yeah.
In the chamber, not in the chamber. In the bath, not in the bath.
It's not in the bath. It was Bubbles. I thought the best episodes were when the Mandalorian turned up. I'm like, that's a bit awkward. Whoops. What was the other one as well? The one where Andor. I thought Andor
I haven't seen Andor.
So good. It starts off. I was like, oh, it's a bit slow. That's a couple of episodes, but it's quite a long series. I feel like they could have just gone.
Haven't seen Andor. Haven't seen Ahsoka.
Yeah,
Ahsoka.
That's quite good. That's good. I like Ahsoka Tano. She's a Tano. She's a cool character. All it's doing is making me want to go and watch the animated Star Wars film. The series
series
because apparently they're really good. I just haven't got the time to watch 15 seasons of essentially cartoons, which they can churn out pretty quick.
Probably not old enough, generation gap, to remember Star Wars droids.
Oh, you just got. Oh, that's a lot of people upset with you.
Yeah, I know.
Star Wars droids.
It was an animated series, basically just about C-3PO and R2-D2, but with a completely different cast.
It rings a bell. I don't think that's. I think I've heard of like.
It was pretty decent. Yeah. It was pretty decent. That's another one that I think you can watch on Disney. I think it's on there as like retro cartoon type style.
Because I started watching the cartoons whilst working. So like while I was on the phones and stuff, I just stuck it in the background. But then you sort of miss stuff, yeah.
Because the Bad Batch as well.
That looks good. Yep.
That gets rave reviews. Not seen that.
Bad Batch looks very good. Obviously, there's the Clone Wars, which is the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Rebels, which everyone raves about, because obviously the stuff in the Ahsoka Tano series where they just sort of introduce these characters like Ezra and stuff, and I'm like, and there's Chopper and stuff. Like, there's all these characters that I've heard of and I know who they are. Like, you show me a flash, I'll be like, oh, it's Ezra, whatever his name is, because I know lots of Star Wars. But they sort of go, oh, where's Ezra? I'm like, if I didn't know Star Wars, I wouldn't know who you were talking about. He goes, oh, and they're like, they're celebrating the war hero. I'm like, you don't explain what the war is. I wouldn't know what that was.
See, but you did just criticize them for spoon feeding things.
Yeah, there are limits. But it's like, the problem is then when you do
there's
that,
a line between spoon feeding and just random
no information. Yeah. The problem, obviously, this is quite good because it's the first thing ever. It's like a prequel.
Yeah.
So, Ki-Adi-Mundi turned up. He was a Jedi who's accredited. I spotted that online. Someone said, "Hey, it's Ki-Adi-Mundi. 100 years before Ki-Adi-Mundi." What? They don't live that long. So yeah, I think someone messed up on the old history there. But other than that, I can't see any sort of glaring plot points for now.
I did try and start listening to the audiobooks.
Which one?
Of Star Wars.
Oh.
Like from day one.
Yeah.
But there were so many.
Oh, really?
Like a lot. The only thing I could find online was a full list, and there must have been a good 200 or so of them. And the first one is way back, where Jedi are Jedi.
Oh, God.
And it's like a religion style thing. Before they have powers, it's just very random, like Romulus Remus style back.
Interesting, but also I can't imagine the small books either. They're quite.
It was about 9-hour audiobook, so about 4.5 hours for me.
Wow.
Double speed.
It's not terrible.
But it was just so far from, like, obviously you needed to start at the beginning, but it was like, wow, this is way back. Just random authors for the books.
Fair enough. Poor George Lucas. George Lucas, that's not technically accurate. Of course it's not.
So instead,
2,000 hours to read.
So instead, I'm reading the comic books.
Okay. And we start with the one where he's like, all I see are, he goes, you're surrounded. He goes, all I see are dead men or something. I had that magazine one. I had number 1 of the Darth Vader one. It's where
I've got number 1 of the Star Wars, like from Marvel.
Oh, yeah, this is the Marvel one.
Yeah, number 1, Star Wars, is basically the story of Star Wars.
Oh, cool.
Episode 4 follows that quite quickly, actually, in the comic books. And then I think by about the 3rd or 4th comic, Han Solo and Chewie go off and do their own thing, and it follows them.
Nice.
They're pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I started
it all out in the 80s. So.
I mean, it must have been a new one because it was Comic Book Day, so I went to get my free comic book on Comic Book Day.
There are Darth Vader. There's a specific Darth Vader storyline.
Yeah, that was cool. I had that for a while. Threw it away eventually, I think. Well, it was it wasn't so much a comic as a small book.
About 20 pages. Yeah.
Oh no, this was like 100 plus pages. Comic, so they must have just wedged in like quite a lot. Yeah. Oh no. So Comic Book Day was when I picked it up. They gave out another free something which I wasn't interested in.
Yeah, I have Marvel Unlimited, which
sponsor us.
It's about £5 a month.
That's good.
For unlimited access to all the comics, obviously all of Marvel, but they've also got Star Wars on there.
I don't really read comics. I read my Halo books. That's about it for the time being. I play video games. She was off work today, and she spent the whole day playing Mario Kart.
Nice.
So I was sat there, not 3 feet away from her, just really jealous.
Working.
She kept saying, "Do you want to play?" I'm like, "Yes, I would love to." Unfortunately, I'm not off today. Right, so that's 1 down. Acolyte.
Did you do your homework?
I freaking did. Wild things in my head. Right, now, first of all, Major League 1 and Major League 2.
Oh, you watched both?
I watched both, yeah. I didn't download the third one. The reviews were like, yeah.
You didn't buy the third one?
No, I didn't buy the third one. Download as in like off Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't download the third one off Amazon. $4.99 each they were. Don't check that. Major League 1, I thought was really, really good.
Yes.
It sets everything up so well.
Yeah.
Major League 2, I thought was good, but I would probably rank it 1 being the first. I thought it was, obviously, it's a shame that, what's Ricky May, was it Ricky May Hayes?
Willie Mays Hayes.
Willie Mays Hayes, who was...
Wesley Snipes.
That's the one. Shame he didn't come back.
Yeah.
I felt like that'd have been cool, just have the full cast come back to both. There was some really... The new catcher, whose name I don't know who the names are yet. I'll probably watch them again. But the new catcher is excellent. There's just some really good throwaway lines in it. That's wicked. It's the one where he's like, here comes the pitch. He swing. Shit. That was so good.
The people doing the commentary are
Yeah.
hilarious on
It
it.
just he gets more and more drunk as the
Yeah.
the worse they get.
Yeah.
And when he goes, you do it, and he falls asleep, and his co-commentator goes, he hits it. It's quiet. That's it. That's his commentary. Yeah, no, it's really, really good. See, now obviously I like baseball. I have seen the Wild Thing walk where they do that from obviously from the bullpen to the mound. I've seen that online so many times. I would not have known that was Charlie Sheen.
Really?
I must have seen that 50 times, and I watched it 50 times, and I did not know that was Charlie Sheen. Because when does Charlie Sheen ever wear baseball gear and the glasses?
Yeah.
Like, so iconic though. When he comes back out the second time with his glasses, the skull in the middle, like, it's so good. It's one of those. It's pure nostalgia in 80s because it's sort of, you get to it and like you know exactly what's going to happen. She comes in, it's like, oh, they're obviously going to become really good and they're going to win something. Bit weird though. I don't know if it's just me. I think it's a bit weird that in the first film, their big goal is to win the AL. Whatever what are they? They're the Indians. I don't know what it was back then, but
the Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland, yeah. So, oh yeah, of course it's now they're the Cleveland. Oh no, what are they called? Because they changed Guardians. Because it's not a bit racist. Indian guy. So yeah, the whole point was to just win the championship, like just become top of the bracket.
Yeah, so that she couldn't sell them.
Yeah, it was just to win the bracket outright. Now, they don't go into the postseason. It's like, yeah, you did this. I'm like, and then no credits. Okay. So then the second one comes out. I'm like, oh, I see. They're going to try and win the World Series. No, they just go and win the AL Championship. So there's games after the end of the film. Like, why not finish with the games after the film? And they don't even go, oh, you know, there's really cheesy things. It's like, oh, they such and such went on to win 2 World Series. They didn't know that. It's just like, and credits. And they were celebrating.
It's almost a baseball film for people who don't know anything about baseball.
It's all right. They just walk off into the sunset. I'm like, you've got 7 more games. What are you doing? You haven't got a ring yet. No, you do. You do get a ring. You just don't get a World Series ring. I'm like, come back. You've still got the most important series to go. It's all well and good. You meet the White Sox. Congratulations. Did hurt that they were really bad and then immediately started beating the Angels. I was like, that kind of sucks. Couldn't have gone with somebody else now. The 2 scenes that I support the Angels and I follow the Blue Jays. It's like, oh, they're playing well, blah, 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 and they put down the Angels. Oh, and then they beat the Blue Jays. I'm like, hey, we're losing enough in real life. We don't need to be losing in films. Come on, it's enough of that. Stop it. Oh, but they did that in Ted Lasso. Like they came out and they're like, oh, they're playing Arsenal. I'm like, there's no way this made-up team could beat Arsenal like in fake world as well. We're already losing enough in the real world. I don't want to watch a TV show and watch my team losing a TV show. I watch just to distract myself from the real world Arsenal, who aren't playing very well. Well, they are now, but I'm going to watch Ted Lasso. They certainly won't. Yeah, really, really good. Wild Thing is wicked, which brings me to my next point, which I was going to talk to you about. Grab YouTube up on your phone. So the first one, as soon as I saw the Wild Thing and all the fans and stuff, it just immediately made me think of the Oakland A's at the Coliseum.
Go on.
So type in Oakland A's. I forget the reliever's name. Just like reliever.
Hattenberg.
Oh no, that's
Homeland.
Oh, that's Moneyball. Have you seen Moneyball?
No.
Oh, there's your homework. So you'd like Moneyball. It's very statistic based.
What am I going for?
Oakland highlights reliever. Just type in reliever. Let's see what comes up. So this was back in like Oakland A's prime. So the Oakland A's, obviously, they used to be a really big team. They've won World Series once, maybe more than once. You finished the thing? Yeah. And they just went absolutely mental for it. They just played Metallica incredibly loud over the speakers. It just reminded me of this. Obviously, he comes in as a relief pitcher and wins games and stuff. And then we just lost their minds over it. Like there were people going to the games just so they could do the Metallica. Like, it was head banging and stuff, and the stands were absolutely packed. It's just so sad because now, the reason I thought of it is because now no one goes to the games. They're moving to Vegas. Like they're bottom of the AL West, which is where the Angels are as well. So we'd never really lose because there's always the Oakland A's at the very bottom of the table. And yeah, it was just that. It was like just absolute chaos and carnage when this guy came in. Just people headbanging and like.
There's a random one that you may want to cut, but did you see the one that I sent you? I think I did it on WhatsApp.
Maybe.
Where there's this batter that basically the top 4 pitchers have never.
Oh yeah. I forget his name.
Insane ability. Yeah. He's got one of the best records in the MLB.
Striking out.
Yeah. And the top 4 like, oh yeah, no, we can't. No.
Yeah, maybe didn't strike him out. I think it was between the top 4 pitchers at the time. They struck him out twice. Yeah, between all 4 of them. Yeah. There's some brilliant stats. There's a couple of brothers. There's one guy. So there's a pitcher and a batter, and the pitcher has thrown something like 10 pitches over 100 miles an hour in his career. 8 of them were to his brother. That's so good. Screw you, little brother.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good when brothers play in the MLB. Obviously, it's better when the brothers play in the NFL. That was. Have you seen the Kelsey documentary?
Yeah.
It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're currently watching I think it's called Sprint on Netflix.
I haven't seen that.
It's about the 100-meter runners.
Okay.
America versus Jamaica.
Yeah.
Obviously, massive rivalry.
Yeah.
The Italian guy who won the 100 meters in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you
follow. Are we talking about? Obviously, quite a lot of Usain Bolt. Heavy, I'd imagine.
Usain's in it, but it's basically a documentary following these and how they're trying to be the fastest in the world. The 200, I'm not going to go into names because I don't think you follow athletics that much, but the 200 meter world champion basically is trying to do the 100 meters as well, and he's trying to get both. It's a pretty decent documentary.
Yeah. I like a sports documentary. I'm watching quite a lot of sports documentaries. Obviously, the big one I watched recently was the Shohei Ohtani one, which is just ridiculous. Because he knew what he was doing from day one. He's got this grid. And at the centre of it, he's like, I want to be world champion, best pitcher, whatever. And then outside of that grid, it's like, these are the 9 things I have to do to get that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, these 9 things, he takes them all out. He goes, right, so for this one thing, I need to do these 9 things to get this one. So if I do these 9 things and these 9 things and these 9 things for all 9 things, then hello, Jeff, hello. No, can't be here right now.
I want the microphone.
Do you want to talk? Anything interesting to say? No. Okay. Well, you're going to have to go down. I love you lots. Yes, you sleepy. There you go. Well, anyone listening on Amazon Music is just like, what the hell is he talking
about? Yeah. Why is he on? Why is Carl on his lap?
Yeah. Down, boy. No. Jeff is now staring at me like, why can't I go on your lap, Dad? Because you're not a podcaster. I use that term very loosely when I'm talking about the 2 of us.
Hey, it's all right. Sorry.
So yeah, Acolyte was brilliant. Acolyte was good. Major League was brilliant.
I'm just looking when we're talking about sports documentaries. I don't remember the name of one that I have watched recently that was just amazing. It was only a short one, I think 1 episode, a long documentary. The Freak from basketball. That's not derogatory. That's what they call him.
Pretty rude. Speaks very highly of you.
He is. I want to say Greece. Yeah, it's Greece.
Is this the guy that we both thought we were talking about? The same person?
Yeah. Have you seen the documentary yet? Well worth a watch.
Carl was telling me all about this guy. He's explaining everything as he goes. Like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh yeah, I know you're talking about it. He goes, yeah, he's such and such. Yeah, but yeah. We went through all this information, and then I showed him a video of who I thought it was. I went, yeah, it's this guy. You were like, no,
not him.
Like,
no,
okay,
him.
right, cool.
I just can't remember the name of the documentary.
Recent documentaries I watched, sport-wise, watched the ones about the Bulls and Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah,
that was awesome. Also watched the show. One.
See, that's his name.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm gonna. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna say that. So I will insult him.
But his nickname is the Freak, the Greek Freak.
Cool. Very poetic.
Basically, one of the best players ever. MVP years running, and plays for a lesser known team. I'm going to say lesser known, not one of the big ones that we would have expected him to play for. He plays for Milwaukee.
Oh, okay. Who are they? Milwaukee. I've got Brewers in my head, but that's
no. They've got a staggered Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Follows his life and the progress of it, from being an immigrant in Greece and not being accepted very much, and just getting picked up by the NBA.
Nice.
It's amazing. But because of that, his honesty and his passion to stay with the team that gave him the chance is why they've just continued to win. But all his brothers play as well.
That's what should have happened at the Angels.
All his brothers play
cool.
basketball to a high level, and I think his second eldest brother plays for the Milwaukee Bucks as well. So when they go on, they're like, yay, point.
Have you seen, there's a couple of basketball films I've seen recently. One is with Adam Sandler, where he goes, I think it's Spain, and he picks a guy up from Spain. And a similar sort of thing. He's from nowhere. This kid's just ridiculously good.
It's basically his life story.
Yeah. And that was awesome. And the other one was called, what's it called? It's got Woody Harrelson in it.
Just in case you didn't know, we don't rehearse these.
Yeah, can you tell? Yeah, check the script.
What's
his face? You know,
with his
people listening going, it's such and such. The Americans are like, how do you know him? You don't get a lot of American support here. Woody Harrelson, he gets dropped from his, NBA job, and as part of his community service, he has to go and teach a special needs basketball group, and it's such a good film.
I think I wanted to see that. I think
so funny
on the list.
Yeah, it's so good. It's done really well. It's got
no, don't even bother. I'll just try and watch it.
Rob McElhenney's wife.
As soon as you find the name, send it me and I will watch it.
Yeah, it's got Rob McElhenney's wife. I hate that I just called her Rob McElhenney's wife because she's such a good actress. And she shouldn't be identified as just a man's wife. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I've also been watching the Wrexham thing, so Rob McElhenney's name is very much in the front of my mind right now. I've just watched the episode where Ryan Reynolds pranks him by doing an entire song about how to pronounce the name McElhenney. So I can't really get that wrong. But I can't remember her name. She literally just threw the first pitch at the London series, but she didn't. She played like a double play. Did this whole thing leading up to it, where like Rob McElhenney once threw a first pitch to a Phillies legend. Oh look, my ball. New York Mets. Yes. That's the Phillies. There you go. So a friend of mine picked that up from there because I couldn't go because my wonderful mother-in-law decided to get married on the same day. Terrible choice. But yeah, no. So yeah, they once did this first pitch where he threw to the Phillies legend, whose name I don't really know because I don't follow the Phillies. And then there's this whole new thing about basically he was sending these same letters to Bryce Harper, who's the current Phillies first baseman, and all this stuff. And then they meet up. He's like, "Oh, we get these letters." He goes, "Oh, I know exactly who that is. It's this guy from this pub called Paddy's Bar." So on the second game, he comes out and he's throwing first pitch to this legend, and Bryce Harper comes out the dugout like, "Hey, whoa, why are you throwing me?" So he's like, "Oh, I can't do it to both of you." And then Rob's wife comes out and she's like, "Well, hey, look, come on, guys, why don't we instead of doing the first pitch, let's turn a double play." So yeah, so they throw it to one of them playing second. He throws it to someone on the bag and then throws it to first. It's like a first double play instead of the first pitch, which is really cute. That's really, really cool little thing.
I'll tell you the other one that we've watched recently. Cheer, I think it's called.
Yes. Tia doesn't want to watch that with me. We watched a lot. Wait, is it the one with we've seen one documentary about cheerleaders, but I think there's a new one out which we haven't
There's a
seen
new
yet.
one.
We haven't watched it yet because we know it's full rabbit hole stuff.
Did you watch the original Cheer where it was kind of high school? I think it was high school, college cheer.
Yeah.
No, this is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, that is the one that we were going to watch, but then didn't because we were watching other stuff.
Amazing.
I've seen the trailer where they're like having to try and pick and cut. Like
it's brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
And they are paid so little.
Oh,
for what they do, they are paid incredibly badly.
Are the women paid 70% of what the male cheerleaders are paid?
They wish.
Oh God.
They wish. I mean, obviously, the DCC, Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. For those in the know.
Is there a song called "Welcome to the DCC, Death Club City"?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a new song out called. Anyway, carry on.
DCC is Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Death Club City.
They get paid every time they perform, but
okay.
I think I found it was like $500 or something per performance. That's it.
You know how much money these owners make?
I know. And that is because that's the DCC. Every other team, $150 to $200 per performance.
And they put in probably full-time hours just practicing and training.
Oh, insane.
Right?
Yeah. Insane. But to do it, it's not only are you the best at what you do, are you the most athletic, are you on point, are you absolutely perfect, are you also incredibly attractive, able to do your makeup to a certain level. It's like, come on now.
So you're saying we could probably be cheerleaders? I
mean, I'm flexible enough.
Yeah, I mean, you're now trimming the beard properly.
So yeah, I'm on the way. But yeah, for what they have to go through, it's insane for what they get compensated for. And
rubbish.
It's hardcore.
I'm not surprised.
Hey,
wait. You're ruining my podcast. Do you mind? Do you mind? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do. You know when you got a yawn, you're trying to not yawn. She's going.
I think there were 34 or 35 spots on the team, and they start off with like hundreds of videotape auditions, and then they whittle it down, and then they do some live auditions, and I think it's about 70 odd. But
I mean, the amount of work they put in is just unbelievable. It's ridiculous.
And
the first episode series I watched was just insane.
And they all have to have full-time jobs or good, well-paid jobs alongside. One's an orthodontic nurse, one's an orthodontist, one's a full-time nurse caring for people with severe disabilities.
Wow. Kind
of thing. And they do that all day and then have to go and train in the evenings, rush food.
It's very much like the football players.
Oh, yeah. It's on par. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, must be really stressful being a football player.
Considering, obviously, we know
full-time job.
The footballers get paid
obscene amounts of money. Yeah,
huge amounts of money.
Yep.
The clubs have got the money to spend.
Yeah,
to give.
That's you could cut one player and then share their wage, and
not even that.
Yeah, and give an entire cheer squad a fair wage.
Just even if you gave them minimum wage, something like to cover, or just so that they didn't have to burn the candle at both ends.
I bet they don't get any healthcare for that. So if they do fall and break their ankle, goodbye, you're out. Good luck.
I don't know. In all honesty, one of them did get quite bad because the DCC do this. They're famous for a jump split, where they jump in the air down into a split and like put their arm up to the side. Nearly did it then. I was going to show you. Decided against it. Move the chairs. Move the chairs. And yeah. So they do this, and if you don't land it perfectly, ideally you should land it kind of almost on your heel, so that your foot takes the brunt and then slides out. Otherwise, you are bouncing and
there's no ideal way to do that. There's not an ideal way to.
Well, one of them got injured quite badly and required surgery, etc. I'm hoping that the surgery was covered by the team. But yeah,
did they say it was?
They didn't say it was.
Oh dear!
But they also didn't say that it wasn't. I would like to think that it was, because they do talk about family and how much they love all the people, etc. I would like to think that they did. But yeah,
Right.
absolutely cutthroat audition process.
Okay, I'll watch Cheer. You need to watch Moneyball.
Moneyball
Moneyball.
available.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's the best thing about living on a flight path. You get to see those massive planes come in.
If I can find, let's just.
It's on.
Give me a second. I'll just see if I can.
I think it's on Netflix at the moment. It sort of goes on and off Netflix, but it's also I've got it on Amazon Prime downloaded. Can you share it once you've bought them? You can't, can you? Yeah, okay, that's watch around here. I've watched it so many times. It just gets better and better. It's about the Oakland A's, and they basically break the winning streak for the longest winning streak in American League history. And this is a team who are worth nothing compared to the Yankees and stuff.
It is on Netflix at the moment.
There you go. I think the Yankees had £155 million budget for salary each year. I think they were on like 38.7. That number rings a bell. But it's some, 30s, 40 million pound dollar budgets. And they got to somehow go and win the World Series or compete for the World Series with this team. It's like, how? How do you do that? So they're bringing a statistician who's played by Jonah Hill. Who is, basically he's like, well, I've run all the stats for all the players in the MLB. It's based off the true story. He said, yeah, basically there are a whole bunch of players out there who for whatever reason aren't picked, like because they don't look good or they throw funny or they've got this weird stuff. Their swing looks weird, so they never get picked. And he's like, well, let's pick these guys up, pay them nothing because they're worth nothing right now, and go and win some stuff. And yeah, it's all about the relationship between the GM and the coach and all that sort of stuff. Chris Pratt's in it, who plays Hatterberg. He's the first baseman. He's a failed catcher, like he's an injured catcher, so he can't catch anymore. So he goes, "We don't want you to catch. We want you to play first base." He's like, "Cool." He goes, "I don't play first base." He goes, "We'll teach you. It's easy." And then the coach is with him and goes, "Tell him." He goes, "It's incredibly difficult." He goes, "Don't listen to him. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine." So there's all these sort of rejects that build this team. A bit like Major League, but serious. Like it's true story. Actually, it's amazing. And yeah, all about sort of it's cool because they sort of splice in real footage to the film stuff. But it's crazy. It's crazy cool. And now obviously everybody uses that system. Like you can't watch a baseball game without seeing stats everywhere. Mm-hmm. And to a lot of people are just meaningless. You just hit the ball really hard. But like your on base percentages and stuff like that, it's like he gets on first base. That's all they need him to do. You get to first base. Doesn't matter if you hit it there or you walk there. Results the same.
Mathematician's game.
Yeah. That's the best. That's one of the best bits about baseball for me. One of the best bits about managing a team is that everyone talks about it all the time. Mm-hmm. All they talk about is their stats. They're on their phones during games, being like, "What's my OBP now?" Who cares? Go and hit the ball. We won a game Sunday.
Well done.
Thank you. Manchester Bees. We split the series. One win, one loss against Sheffield Blade Runners. Won the first one 22-8 or something, 22-7. They lost the second one 11-1 because their pitcher was very, very good. Okay. Called Nesta. He is very good. Basically threw a shutout. I should have probably put myself into the game a bit earlier, but as a manager, you just sort of go, "You go do that, and you go do that, and you can do that." And then right at the end of it, you go, "I haven't hit. Where's my glove? I haven't actually played anything yet." So yeah, but it was cool. Yeah, Sheffield's really cool. Annoyingly, it has one of the shortest right fields of anywhere in the north. So it's I should have gone up and had like 10 at bats just to try and get something over the fence, but I didn't because I'm selfless. And now I had to play at home, and we've got one of the longest. No one's ever hit a home run at our field. It's longer than some MLB stadiums. Genuinely, wow. Our outfield reaches further than quite a lot of MLB stadiums, which is
really they have really stands.
Nice. Yeah. And they have stands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told the guys about the client you had.
Yeah.
They thought that was really funny. Some guy was asking how many seats our stadium holds.
As many as you can bring.
Yeah. That's what the Seas manager went. He said, "Yeah, well, depends how many chairs you bring with you. If you got bring some camping chairs, 2 more." It's dumb, but it's true.
To be fair, on that sprint documentary, it was funny watching how the American teams train. Excuse me, sorry for the coughing still. how the American teams train their sprinters, and they have the best of the best of the best of the best.
It's a bit like Rocky, but the other way around.
Yeah, basically. And then in Jamaica, it's almost. I mean, it's not in a nice area.
Cool runnings.
Yeah.
I'm throwing in random film references.
They had a
validate
track, but they have a track, but it's about on par with our local athletics clubs. And this is where the best of the Jamaican runners are training.
Well, it's like Team GB. If we sent out an actual team of baseball players from Team GB, they would all be playing at grounds worse than high school pitches, fields. Like when you look at the stats here, it's like, how do you make so many errors? I went, well, because when you hit a ball, it bounces off the most beautifully preserved flat piece of floor up at the same angle it hits the floor at, so you know where the ball's going to travel to. In the UK, it hits the floor and you go, shit, because it's either going to hit it's not going to bounce, it's going to roll, or it could shoot off to the side. I've had one guy,
stones.
It's literally hit the floor, it's bounced once, bounced twice, rolled on the floor. It's got to him and go pew over his head. It's like, ow! That's literally how it is.
A mole just kicking it away.
In Liverpool, you have to play either 2 feet back from the edge of the infield or inside the infield because there's a bump. So it's there's the grass, and then essentially it sort of slopes down to get to where the clay goes, and then so it sort of goes. And yeah, I've seen people hit in the face there quite a lot because you just think, oh, I'll just scoop that up as it. Yeah, that's the problem. I would love to just go to America and just jump into a baseball game and be like, hi guys, can I play on your really smooth, really flat field? Please, amazing.
High school.
Yeah. Like first base, if it bounces, you're like, well, I could die. It's either going to go in my glove, or it's going to go under my glove, or it's going to knock 3 teeth out. Who knows? Just roll the dice every time. Very much like D&D. It's like fact. D1, shit.
Nat 20. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. This one I want to talk about as well. D&D nerds. So if half of you are going to switch off now, that's fine. Join us in 10 minutes. I'm doing a one-shot, aren't I, next week?
You are.
I'm DM.
You are DM.
I'm DMing for the first time ever. I've got my monster book and I've got my D&D guide. I do not have a DM guide. So I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to make it up because that's what I do best. And I have no idea what I'm going to do plot-wise.
Oh.
Yeah, literally not a clue. I've got...
Do you need I'm guessing the guides don't have one-shots, do they?
Not really. You can probably buy one shot, but I thought that's kind of cheating.
The guides I've seen are like,
yeah. But yeah, I almost have too many ideas now. I don't really know how to do it in a one shot because my ideas, I could probably stretch out an entire campaign worth 6 months. I've got to somehow distill all of that down to the best bits for like a 3-hour window.
Bear in mind, it takes us 6 hours to fight a flock of birds.
Yeah, that's also it. A 3-hour D&D session for us. Probably a 30-minute session for somebody else if we end up not doing what we're supposed to do or doing it really badly.
Really badly.
We did get a crocodile. That was cool. Yeah. So that's so stressful, and you might not see me this weekend when we go on holiday because I'll be sitting there going, writing away all my little plans.
Are we excited though?
I'm very excited.
I'm excited.
Oh, your daughter's very excited.
She is.
Do you know how I know that?
Because she messages you.
There's about 6 video messages. Which, did you know, if you hop on the video
thing on she told me.
Oh, God!
The first time she did it, was like,
sent it through, and Steve went, look, Poppy sent me a video, so I watched it. I went, how did she do the
circle?
How did you do the circle thing? I went, hold on the video. So we replied, and Tia held on the video. She was like, I was like, oh, this is what being old feels like. This is what my grandpa was like when I showed him how emails work.
10-year-old shows you something. Like, how long have you had WhatsApp? A while.
Since WhatsApp. I was there.
Turns out you've been using it wrong the whole time.
So go WhatsApp. You can record messages to people, and it comes up in a little circle. And go and try it now. It's really cool. I'm now on the recording sound bit thing. Well, I never did that. I just typed away.
I hate voice messages.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, but it is a bit quicker to just go. Done. I do it to Nicola.
Not a fan.
I do it to Nicola at work. I send her lots of, and Megan, because they send me ones. And if I'm typing on work, I'm like, and it sends it. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It does feel a bit like talking to someone on the phone, which I do try and avoid at all costs.
I think for me that I get most of mine while I'm driving.
Oh,
so
that's no
it
good
comes
too.
through on my phone. Do you want to play the message? Do you want to reply? No, I don't want to reply because I'm going to be shouting in a car at myself. And no. I will wait till I stop and text back.
So yeah, that was really cool. So Poppy's very excited, and yeah, we were going to pack last night and then went to sleep. It's hard to not to pack for.
We're already packed. Sarah's packed. She's packed Poppy's.
Is it that pack just everything?
No.
Wet weather? Because apparently it's going to rain.
It is going to rain.
The Lake District applies water.
It's going to rain. You always expect the rain in the lakes.
You looked at me and acted like I was a nutter for saying, "Are we going to go in the water?" And you and Sarah both went, "This guy." Because people don't go in the water. You idiot.
Yeah. When people say weather gear, they don't mean shorts. But a surf.
And then I said, but Tia backed you up. She was like, "Yeah, Marcus." I was like, "Huh?" And then later on, I was like, "I thought you said you went like paddleboarding with your dad." She went, "Yeah, yeah." The one time we went to Lake District, we went paddleboarding. I was like, "That's what I meant." I'm doing it now. That's what I was doing. Like, so people do go swimming. Is that just not a thing that we're going to be doing?
We're not going to be doing.
You sort of looked at me as if to say like, because it's not actually water. It's a bit like Greenland. It's like when you go to Iceland, they go, "Shall I pack my snowshoes?" What an idiot!
No, what we mean is, the people. If you were to go in the lake or in the water in the lakes, it probably wouldn't be at Lake Windermere.
Is that where we're going?
Well, you haven't been to the lakes.
I don't
We're
know
going
where
to
we're
show you a lot of the touristy places. Just
I don't know where we're
been to the
staying.
lake. Good. It'll be a good drive. So Lake Windermere is like the biggest lake in the Lake District. It's the most well-known lake.
There's no lakes in the Lake District. No.
Correct. It's a mere. So Windermere is the most popular one. And most people don't go swimming in there. You can around the side, but
they're monsters.
It's a lot of boats, speed boats and things like that, paddle boats and rowboats and all sorts. They've got the steamers that go from here to Ambleside and all around. But if you were to go to like one of the meres or one of the other waters, then yes, you could go in. But we probably going to go to Windermere, Bowness, Ambleside, Carmel.
My grandpa used to live on Ambleside Drive. I said that like I was 97, didn't I?
You did.
Generation gap.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to probably go to a lot of the touristy places just to give you a feel of the lakes and stuff.
Cool. I had that sticky toffee pudding you got me, by the way.
Did you have it?
Oh,
it was very good.
I didn't have any cream. I had to use squirty cream.
No.
It worked out okay. But Tia walked in the next day. It was cold on the side. And about 9:30 in the morning, she walked in me with a spoon and the rest of the tray. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
Did you not give?
Tia couldn't have any. She had a bit of an episode, so she's still not tried it. I had her half.
We will have some when we remember that.
Yeah, good stuff.
We're going to go to Carmel and actually buy it from the shop.
It's like an entire national trust park. The whole area.
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I don't know when we're filming. I've got to edit this. Right, that's an hour. So.
Yep.
I was going to edit this tonight. It's 7 o'clock. I've got stuff to do. Right, okay.
So your homework is... I haven't given you any homework.
Cheer.
Cheer.
Cheer, and you're going to watch Moneyball.
DCC. I don't know if it's called Cheer.
Don't do that.
Yes, I will watch Moneyball.
Okay.
I think I've got it easier this time around.
Sounds like it, yeah. And The Acolyte will be finished. Well, I assume it will be. I assume it's a 6 season, 6 episode thing.
6 is out now.
Is it? Oh, I missed that. Oh, I could have watched all of them.
I think it started today.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll watch the end of that. What? I say the end of that. Could be 8, could be 12. Andor just kept going.
America's Sweethearts, it's called.
America's Sweethearts. I do recognise it.
Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders.
So saw the trailer when we did Netflix. It's quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. Well, next time we speak to those people, we will come back from the Lake District. So we'll have many stories and things to tell.
Perfect.
I shaved for this. Can't believe it. I felt like such a professional. Shaved for this.
I'm not going to say you had to.
No. Well, it's because I have it really high and you've got a low microphone down.
Yeah.
Right. Fade out music begin. Thanks very much, everyone, for listening. This has been episode 2 of Generation Gap podcast. Listen everywhere you can, where we haven't got to pay for it, and potentially everywhere where you do have to pay for it in the future. I think, personally, Amazon Music is really cool because it comes up on my phone when we're driving. It's really cool. We will catch you next time. Ciao.